broken out that red jacket once a year for the last 30 years or so. Coach George Conte. From the class of 1999, Nick Emkin. Coach Dave Enderly, part of our committee, part of the organizers. Nicole Falco Lopes. Nicole is right back. Gregory Friedman, one of the tennis playing Philippines. Heather George Kruger. Matt Kosh. And Steve Setching from the class of 1972. The names of our committee members are set forth in your program. I continue as chairman because of their efforts. We also thank the members of the varsity club for their efforts tonight, as well as Teray Cizak, Rusty Todd's secretary, for all her assistance. You see the plaques out there. Those are the plaques that will be hung in the hallway. So those of you receiving them tonight, you've got to return them. Keep them. If you do want them, we get them from Perry's and Long Branch, and they'll make one for you at your price. You will also get a lifetime pass to all Ocean Township sporting events. We will attempt to move our program as quickly as possible, as the inductees will be introduced individually at halftime of tonight's game right out across the hall in the boys' basketball game with Middletown South. Finally, congratulations to each inductee and to their families. Your achievements will always be remembered in your high school and the Ocean Township community. I'm looking right at John Villapiano, one of our earlier inductees into the Hall of Fame. John?
Okay, tonight embarks us just on a little slightly different path in that we have started an Alumni Hall of Fame as well, which we're going to honor a few inductees tonight there. And for that, I would like to bring up our Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Kelly Weldon, to talk a little bit about that.
Good evening, everyone. It's so great to see so many of you out here coming back. It's a pleasure and an honor to stand before you tonight as we commence the Ocean Township High School Alumni Hall of Fame. This has been in the works for quite some time and a labor of love for many involved. I'd like to sincerely thank the athletic director, Rusty Todd, and the high school principal, Dawn Kazuba, for all their hard work putting this event together. I must also recognize our Alumni Hall of Fame committee, who so graciously volunteered their time to this new endeavor, one we hope will become a new Spartan tradition. I must also thank the Ocean Township Historical Society, who was so instrumental in helping us celebrate our 50th anniversary a few years ago. Although it would have been fitting to debut our Alumni Hall of Fame during our 50th year, the 2015-16 school year, the truth is we were a construction site at that time, so we decided to hold off until we could invite you all back to see the tremendous renovations and expansion that we have undergone. Our new facilities are truly something to see, and I encourage all of you to take a walk through later tonight. For those of you who no longer live in town, I would like you to know that the residents of Ocean Township voted overwhelmingly to approve these expansions. You see, they put a high value on the education of their children, and they believe in this school system. Much of that belief is built on the legacies of each one of you sitting in this room tonight. For you are the history of Ocean Township High School. You are responsible for our rich traditions, our proud achievements, and our reputation for excellence. You are the models we spotlight to our students. Yours are the Spartan legacies that we use to inspire students to work harder, reach higher, and believe in their potential for greatness. Tonight is truly a momentous night in Big Red Country. We celebrate the achievements of our newest inductees to our Athletic Hall of Fame. We embark on a new tradition by inducting our first honorees to our Alumni Hall of Fame, and we continue to inspire young Spartans to reach for the stars. From the bottom of my heart, I congratulate each one of you and thank you for all you've done to create our legacy.
Okay, welcome again. We're going to get started with our program. Just a couple notes here. Please feel free to get up during the ceremony. If you want to get something to eat, something to drink, please feel free to do that. We have our board over there, our tarp. Please feel free to take pictures over there. We have a picture taker there, Mr. Zupkis over there, so please feel free to use that. Once you get your plaque with your family and things like that, coaches, whatever you would like to do. At halftime, after the inductees are introduced in the gymnasium in front of our halftime basketball crowd, please meet me at the back part of the gym, and whoever would like, and I will take you on a tour of our new athletic wing there, our new athletic facility, so please do so. Tonight's ceremony is being streamed live over there. Spartans Live. It's shown on YouTube. Obviously, you are not there watching it live, but you can archive it. You can go there tomorrow and you can watch this ceremony if you would like. So thank you, Mr. Rafter, for your help in doing that. All right, we're going to start here. And actually, believe it or not, we have a couple people here that have to go to another Hall of Fame induction ceremony tonight of all nights. But they are going to go first, them. And we also have one of our wrestling coaches. We have a big wrestling match tonight in South Plainfield. So after the first two, he's going to talk about the wrestling program team and an individual. And then we'll get back on track here with our program. All right. Unfortunately, what happens is some coaches of the players that were here are not able to be here for various reasons. Unfortunately, some are deceased. But I will do my best to read what they wrote about these athletes, and you can see in the program what they wrote in their accolades. But Sky Rubel will be our first inductee. Just wait, Sky. All right. From her softball coach, Mr. Mark Frankel. Sky was a 4-year letter winner in softball. Sky Rubel Tip Lady started each and every game as a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. A right fielder and later a catcher, Sky recorded more than 60 putouts while committing only 3 errors for a fielding average of .995. While a catcher's first response ability is to work in tandem with the pitcher, she is also expected to provide some offense when she steps to the plate. Sky did that and much more. A career .327 hitter with power. Sky is a member of the exclusive 100 Hit Club and reached base in 38% of her plate appearances. These numbers are even more impressive when you consider the wear and tear that a catcher endures both in games and at practice, and that the distance from the pitcher's mound to the plate was 40 feet as opposed to today's distance of 43. A captain who was recognized as one of the elite players in the state by the Asbury Park Press and the Newark Star Ledger. Sky was instrumental in the team winning 2 A North titles and 1 Central Jersey Group 3 championship between 2002 and 2005. All the time she remained the ultimate team player, respected her teammates, and was respected by them. Upon her graduation from high school, Sky soared to even greater heights in both softball and tennis at Brookdale Community College. Hence, the other Hall of Fame that she's attending tonight and being inducted to. A 2010 graduate of Stockton State University, Sky earned a master's degree from Monmouth University in 2014. Sky's accomplishments on the softball field were such that those who didn't closely follow her high school and college careers might have not have been aware that she was equally as talented on the tennis court. In these days when many high school athletes are sports specific, Sky proved that it is possible to succeed at an elite level in more than one sport. Her willingness to commit to 2 sports without sacrificing one at the expense of the other is a tribute to Sky and her family. A leader on and off the field, Sky's induction into the Ocean Township Hall of Fame is an honor that is richly deserved and one that she deeply appreciates. For her, the sky was indeed the limit. Real quick, another word from her tennis coach, Mr. Stan Friedman. Sky was a great 2-sport performer, excelling in both tennis and softball. She played first singles all 4 years and was named to the Asbury Park Press All-Shore team. She went on in to play tennis at Brookdale, where she won an individual national championship. She was a national champion at Brookdale in tennis. She was a first-team All-American selection in tennis at Brookdale. I would like to welcome to the Ocean Township Hall of Fame, Sky Rubel Tipley.
Thank you for that, Dad and Ariel, everybody. Thank you.
Congratulations to Sky Rubel. Okay, our next inductee also has to head to the Brookdale Hall of Fame, where her brother is being inducted and will one day, I'm sure, be inducted in this Hall of Fame. But we're here to talk about Ariel Winkowski Schmardell. Ariel Winkowski was not only one of the greatest pitchers to ever take the mound for Ocean softball, she was arguably one of the toughest. In spite of a chronically bad knee that hampered her throughout her high school, Ariel still managed to win 69 of her 88 career starts for a winning percentage of 78%. She's the school's all-time single-season strikeout leader with 244, as well as the single-season ERA leader with an ERA of .66. Ariel's 69 wins in a school is a school record, as are her 836 career strikeouts and career ERA of .83. In addition to her many accomplishments on the mound, including 2 perfect games, Ariel was a lifetime .300 hitter. While Ariel is justifiably proud of the all-division, all-county, all-shore, and all-state awards that came her way, she'd be the first to tell you that the 2 A North, 1 B North, and 1 Central Jersey Group 3 title that the team captured between 2001 and 2004 meant more to her than any individual honor, and that these championships would not have been possible without the support of her teammates. Ariel continued to excel at George Mason University, where she was honored as an All-American Scholar Athlete and a Colonial Athletic Association Academic Award winner. Following her graduation from George Mason University in 2008, Ariel went on to earn her master's degree from Monmouth University. Today, Ariel is happily married to Cliff, works as a licensed professional counselor in the field of mental health. Ariel's accomplishments on the softball diamond both in high school and college speak for themselves. A captain and a member of the National Honor Society, she personified the term student athlete. As with any athlete who has been inducted into the Ocean Township Hall of Fame, Ariel is especially grateful to the Athletic Hall of Fame committee for this honor. But tonight's ceremony is even more special as she joins her dad Chuck and her aunt Karina in the Athletic Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Ariel and her family on this very joyous occasion. This is written by Mark Frankel, her softball coach. Ariel Wankowski.
As most of you are probably carry your weight on this, that's where my thank yous are too. So good evening, everyone. I am excited to be here with you all celebrating this wonderful accomplishment and reliving some of our glory days. Thank you to Mr. Frankel and the committee for the nomination and believing that I deserve the honor of joining all the other great athletes as part of the Hall of Fame. I would first and foremost like to thank all of my coaches and teammates over the years, as these accolades couldn't be accomplished without them. As Sky knows, especially on my other half of my battery the last couple of years of my high school career, I appreciate all you've done for me. And half of my, sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, half of the school records you heard tonight wouldn't be able to be there if it wasn't for her on the receiving end. I would like to extend my thanks to my family. Thank you to my aunts, my uncle, my cousins, my nanny, and Mimo, all of whom are here tonight, for coming to my games and supporting me throughout my career. I want to thank my siblings, Allison, Keith, and Charlie, who they themselves have played ball and who have cheered and supported each other both on and off the field. Thank you to my husband, Cliff, who has known me since I was 16 years old and has been one of my biggest fans throughout the end of my high school career and through college. Thank you for always being there when my family was unable to come and watch me play. We sat through many of the cold days in March in Virginia. I am very grateful and privileged to have been able to play softball at the levels I did, and I have my parents, Chuck and Karen, to thank you for that. There's this joke in my family that my father can remember how to get to every softball or baseball field within a couple hours of New Jersey. And I think that goes to show how much he and my mom were dedicated to my siblings and I having the opportunity to play. Thank you for the long days, the hours at the softball fields and training clinics, as well as weekends away from the family and never taking a normal vacation that didn't revolve around softball or baseball. I want you to know how much I appreciate all the opportunities that you gave me to play, which ultimately allowed me to play in college. Thank you for your love and support, and I'm honored to join you and Dad. I'm honored to join you, Dad, and Aunt Corinne out there in the Hall of Fame. To every one of you here tonight, congratulations on your achievements, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
And elected another member of the Hall of Fame who is with us tonight, and just so happens that that's his daughter who just got inducted. Just Chuck Wankowski, please stand. One of the great baseball players in the history of Ocean Township.
Okay, congratulations to those. Those two will be heading out in a little while. Please enjoy your time while you're here, but congratulations. Now we have, we're going to talk about our wrestling program here. As I said, we have a Central Jersey Group 3 championship going on tonight at South Plainfield High School. Our team is going to be there, and one of our coaches, who's an assistant now but was the head coach at the time with these wrestlers and the team, is an assistant, and he's going to head up to that match, so if he would like to go. But I'm going to bring up our former wrestling coach, Ken Hoff, who will induct the next individual and the wrestling team. Kenny Hoff.
Thanks, Rusty. Good evening, everyone. It's great to see everyone. Familiar faces, alumni. Once a Spartan, always a Spartan. Danny Lopes, he was a winner, a champion from the start. In 6th grade, he upset the first seed and won the middle school tournament. He went on to bigger and better things at the high school level, using his patented underhook throw-by. He was a 3-time Mustang champion. Mustang Classic is the toughest tournament in the state besides the individual tournament. He was 5th at the Beast of the East, where he took, which is the toughest tournament in the country. He then went on to become a 3-time district champion, region champion, receiving the Most Outstanding Wrestler Award. Was our first 3-time state place winner, qualifying all 4 years. His best place was 4th. He was the first wrestler to reach 100 career wins. He ended with 125, which was a record at the time. He was into the team. He put the team before himself. We had a state championship match against South Plainfield. We knew we were underdogs. We asked him to suck down a weight class. The team lost and he lost, but more importantly, he wasn't afraid. He was unselfish. He went down a weight class to take on a state champion. That shows a lot about his character. He went on to the University of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, wrestled all 4 years, placing in several tournaments. He is currently a New Jersey State Trooper, and still, when he has time, works out with our youth levels. I'm very proud of him, and it was an honor to be his coach. Come on up here, Danny Lopes.
Speech is going to be short and quick. Thank you to the committee for selecting me. It's an honor to be up here. I want to thank my family for dealing with me when I was cutting weight. My mom, dad. I'm sure I wasn't very PG when I was cutting weight. I want to thank my teammates and my coaches from the rec all the way to the high school. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be up here today. I learned a lot from you guys, and thank you again for selecting me. Have a good day.
The 2004 game report that I completed at the end of the season stated, "Coach's dream come true, best season in the history of Ocean Township." Tim Siciliano started our rec wrestling program in the 90s, and his motto was, "It takes a village." And as you know, it takes the whole community to have a successful program. A lot of our boys started off in the rec, and then they went to the middle school and were guided well and conditioned by Coach Sabia, who's here tonight. We also picked up some non-recreation wrestlers, some new wrestlers in the middle school. Then we also had some success, not only for our championship wrestlers, but unsung heroes. You know, kids that bought into the program, into the system, into the team unity. We had Frank Nassi, we're wrestling for the division championship. He was down 14-0. If he gets tech fault, which is by 15 points, we give up 5 team points, we would lose the match. He battled back and only lost 14-7, and we tied Mid-North. And they decided the winner by criteria. First point scored in each individual match. Freshman Joey Falco had the first takedown against Frank Molinaro. Frank Molinaro beat him, but Molinaro wound up being a 3-time state champ, a national champ for Penn State, and 4th in the Olympics. After the division championship, we made it to the Final Four of the Shore Conference for the first time ever. Then when these seniors were in 8th grade, we had a goal to become the first wrestling state championship team. When the seniors were in 8th grade, we had that goal. And we reached that goal after defeating Wall in the sectional championship. After the sectional championship, we went on to the districts. We completed the Triple Crown. We had 5 champions. 9 wrestlers were sent to the regions. We had great leadership from our captains, our senior captains, Brendan Bannon, Greg Soto, Bobby Fox, and Brian Pemberton. At the regions, we had team spirit. Senior PJ McLernan, he actually wore his singlet to the regions in the gym to support the team. And when Greg Soto won in the semifinals, he put Mrs. Soto, who's here tonight, on his back and ran around the gym in excitement. We also had region champion Danny Lopes and Kyle Kiss. All 3 wrestlers placed 7th or 8th at the state tournament, ending the best season in the Ocean Township, history of Ocean Township. I owe these fellas, I owe these guys forever for a coach's dream come true season, but we couldn't have done it without our coaching staff. Dan Connolly did a nice job with our upper weights, came from State Power Brick Memorial, and my right-hand man who's here tonight, Doug Parise, coached with me for 10 years, was an assistant coach, but really was a head coach with me. He's a state champion, Division I All-American, world-class wrestler, our technique guru, if you will. It was an honor and privilege to coach these fellas, and I will love them forever. Congratulations to the 2004 wrestling team. And fellas, you can come up here. We have Joey Falco, Brian Pemberton, Bobby Fox, Danny Lopes, Greg Soto, Maverick Nunez-Vaz. Come on up here, Maverick.
Okay, congratulations to the wrestling, to Danny Lopes and the wrestling, the 2004 wrestling team. Just so you know, that was the first team of 4 Central Jersey Group 3 championships in a row. So many of those kids were freshmen at that time and still there around when the senior class came. That was the first title in our history. Our next inductee is. You know, sometimes you got to wait a while, and sometimes people fall through the cracks. But we do go back and we do review, and we do find missing people, and you know that could play into a lot of factors. But I'd like to bring up now Mary Jo Lopez to speak about Bobby Basilici Moran.
Thank you, Dusty. So, 46 years, Bob. 46 years, 2 beautiful daughters later, Caitlin and Kelly, a wonderful husband, Bob. But I guess for me, it's been a very enjoyable evening because I've seen so many people from that time. You know, it was mentioned by Ira. By the way, where is Ira? Is he here? Ira, do you remember when you worked at the Deal Casino on the Gold Coast? And I worked in the refreshment stand with Ira, and he would come in and he'd always want his card games to get their drinks out first. So that's how long Ira and I go back here on this conversation tonight. But let me just take you down. So So let's go where it is. I came out of college in 1968. They rushed me into work that spring, and I saw this little girl playing basketball. She's in 8th grade. She's out in the park in the back. It was all big fields. I just saw her put the ball up and in, up and in. And I went to somebody and I said, who was she? Because I was coaching the track team at the time. And they said, Bobby Basilici. I said, wow, I can't wait for this one. So that fall, I went out and I saw Bobby. And, you know, it was only second, third year to school. I think you've inducted Robin Truax. You know, Bobby played in every game for 4 years. She not only played in every game for 4 years, with the exception of the last game of the year, she never fouled out. And you know, that's incredible to never foul out of a game, except for the last game. What she was probably one of the best shooters in the Shore. And I wrote about it in the program, but I just want to give you some analysis. You know, we look at statistics. Isn't statistics what drives us all? She only scored 921 points, so I guess the committee said, well, she didn't get to 1,000, so we're not going to honor her. But she only played in 64 games. At that time, the girls only played 16 to 18 games a year. Today, they average 28 games. So in less than 66 games, Bobby was able to put up 921 points. Bobby's so honored tonight because she's got some of her teammates here. Patsy Quinn is here, our manager Linda Dexter Woodworth is here. And let me tell you, Denise Blay was here earlier. Let me tell you how hard it was. And oh, by the way, Dave Endley happened to be my assistant a couple of years later on the girls' basketball team. So Dave's here. But let me tell you how difficult it was playing in a girls' sport in 1968 or 69. Well, Ronnie got the gym, the big gym, and Ronnie got the leather balls. So we were going all over the place to find a gym, and we would practice at 7 o'clock at night in Wayside. Sometimes we'd go to our Olkers. But we had rubber balls. And you know, if you're really playing basketball, you want to feel it, you need a leather ball. So Linda and Ann Califago, they used to go to the boys' practices and take some of the balls away and put them in our bag and hide them so that Bobby would have a leather ball to play with. That's what it was like to play in those days. That's what it's like. She not only came and was the best of what we had, she was probably one of the most modest people you ever want to know. Nobody knew in the building. She wasn't that person. She wasn't the super job. She just was the person who showed up, was reliable. She shot the ball. She made 8 out of 10 shots. I think any coach in the world would want to have somebody who could make 8 out of 10 shots. So let me tell you what was also difficult. She scored 921 points, but in year 1, she played a half-court game. In year 1, girls basketball was 3 girls on one side and 3 girls on the other side. These were guards, these were shooters. And the ball was half-court. In year 2 of Bobby's year, so think about it. How often does somebody get the ball from this side of the court to this side of the court and then shoot it and make as many points? In year 2, wow, we got a little tricky. We went to a rover. So you had 3 players on each side, but you could be a rover. So I said, Bob, you're our rover. She was running up and down, up and down. Patsy was over there trying to get rebounds because she was like a Giselle. She would get the rebound, get it to Bobby, and Robbie would go down the court and score a layup, which she'd shoot that jump shot. And by the way, 8 out of 10 of her shots were at least 20 feet from the basket. Bobby was a pure shooter. We finally got smart in her junior year. We made it a 5-on-5 game, which meant that basketball went to 5-on-5 players, and she was incredible. So we can go on and on and on, but I think the stories I like telling the most is we had a ritual. Bobby's number was number 4. Oh my God, if I didn't have 4 Band-Aids in the kit, Linda and Ann had to make sure we had 4 Band-Aids so she could put 4 Band-Aids on each foot. Maddie will tell you, her brother's here. Her mother, crazy, had to sit in the same place in the gym every time. So It took you 46 years to get it right, but you did get it right. But I do want to say this. There's another person here that I also want to recognize, and that's Patsy. Patsy, we had a girls' track team. I was the girls' track coach. And we wanted to enter in the long range relays. And in that relay, you had to be able to run a quarter of a mile, a half a mile, and a mile. And Patsy, in her senior year, trained the whole time, the whole season, just so we could enter one race. Because Mary Tarrant was a good friend of hers, and Mary was a really good 880 player. So, you know, when you look at Bobby, she was here, what, a teacher for 37, 38 years. She raised 2 wonderful daughters. She coached here. So when I think about it, 46 years later, Bobby, you so deserve it. 921 points.
That's how I started playing basketball, following Maddie around the park all the time, hoping they didn't have enough players to make an even team so I could be that oddball. And then to come back and teach in my high school and coach and try to emulate Mary Jo, I did the best I could, but thank you so much. If it wasn't for her drive to push me, I would have never made it where I did. And the only other person I miss is Mom. Nene was my favorite fan. She never missed a game, scrimmage. No, you can't come to practice. You know, I just fed the team. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Bobby. As I said, I got the opportunity to work with her before her retirement. But as I said, some people do fall through the cracks, and I do appreciate her ex-coach, Mary Jo, coming to speak on her behalf. Our next candidate, Hall of Fame inductee, will be presented by our former football coach, Mr. Sal Spampanato. Mr. Spampanato is a longtime coach and teacher here, and currently is an administrator, a school administrator at Monmouth Regional High School. So, Mr. Spampanato to talk about Lou Eliadis.
Kenny Hoff had it this short. So I guess I'm supposed to put into words to describe what type of player Big Lou was, which, quite frankly, is impossible. You had to see it to believe it. You had to be on the sidelines to see the damage he would do to these poor defensive linemen. The sight and the sound was unbelievable. I believe the best thing I could do to describe what type of player he is to bring up the movie The Perfect Storm. Everybody see The Perfect Storm? Where all these factors merged to cause this freakish force of nature. Lou was our freakish force of nature. The first factor that came into play was his size and strength. It's not too often you get a high school football player that's 6'4", 285 pounds, and none of it was fat. He was as strong as an ox. He never missed a day in the weight room. You can go on YouTube and you can watch him get ready for his pro day. He was at Penn State, and he's benching 225. I think he got it between 25 and 30 times. It looked like he was bench pressing a broomstick. So, but there's a lot of players. You can see a lot of kids in high school that are big kids, but well, they're not very good. So the next factor was his toughness. To beat Lou, you had to kill Lou. He was as tough as they came. In fact, he almost killed himself. He developed a blister on his foot, and he wouldn't tell anybody. He just decided he was going to play through it, play through the pain. And this team became so infected that we had to rush him to the doctors, and next thing we knew, he was in emergency surgery for an infection that almost got to his bloodstream. He played the next week. The third factor was his work ethic. Nobody outworked him. You see a lot of kids that are big and strong and they get lazy. Not Lou. Lou would outwork everybody. That combined with the fact that he had Coach Lambuster, one of the best line coaches in the Shore, for 3 years, drove him to new heights. He could down block a defensive lineman, he could hook a defensive end, and what he used to do to linebackers and D-backs was almost criminal. When the season ended, Lou was named first team All-Division, first team All-County, first team All-Shore, first team All-State Group 3, first team All-State All Groups, first team All-Metro, that's New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, first team Mid-Atlantic All-American. He was the captain of the 2005 state championship team, and he played in the 2006 Governor's Bowl. After that, all the college coaches started showing up. We had Charlie Weiss from Notre Dame, Steve Spurrier, Ron Zook, University of Miami. They all started coming down to see Big Lou. Big Lou finally picked on Penn State. He was a 2-year starter at Penn State. He was a member of the Big Ten championship team. He was participated in a bowl game in every year of his college career. After college, he went on and played professionally in the NFL for the Oakland Raiders. I would like to ask Coach Lambuster to please come up and help me introduce Big Lou to the Ocean Township Hall of Fame. Lou Iliadis, come on up.
That's fine. I'm going to make it brief. So, first off, I want to thank the committee for inducting me. This is truly an honor. Walking, in high school, walking through that hallway, I would have never thought that I would ever be on that wall. So this is a little bit surreal for me. There's a lot of people to thank, and I can't thank everybody, but I want to start by thanking Coach Spomp and Coach Lamb. You just invested a ton in me, and saw the potential, and stayed with me before and after practice, and in the weight room, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, so thank you. Next person I want to thank, obviously, is my mother, my biggest fan. She's always been there. She's supported me every step of the way. She's come to all the football games, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her too. So, so, like I said, I think what makes today very special is that we're being inducted with the 2005 state championship team. So we're here with our team, and it just makes it a very special day. And I'm honored, and it's humbling for me to be up here, and just thank you.
Our next speaker will be our cross-country coach, Mr. Paul Looney, who will speak on behalf of Aaron Enderle Leahy.
Hello everyone. Thanks to the committee, thanks to Ira, Rusty, Dave Enderle, and all the committee. It's an amazing night. So cool seeing all these people that I haven't seen in a while. I also like to thank all the older people who are here tonight, because usually when I'm in this building lately, I'm like one of the oldest people. So this is my 29th year at Ocean, and I swear I was the youngest person in the English department, and now I'm the oldest everything. So thanks to all the old people tonight, I'm feeling a little bit younger. But when I think about, I wrote Erin's bio, and you can read that. It's unbelievable. In fact, we have 2 girls track members being inducted tonight. And Mark DeSoma did an amazing thing. If you look outside the football stadium, he did a wall of fame for the track kids. And he's been working on it forever. I said it was eventually going to be his headstone, but he actually got it done before that happened. But the track wall of fame is unbelievable. And the 2 girls who are getting, actually the 3 girls getting inducted tonight, because Andrea's also soccer, but she's a big part of the track team. But if you look at the wall of fame, Tiffany and Erin, I think they have their own panel. They have their own panel. And Dane will talk more about Tiffany later on. But when I think about Erin, her dad, Dave, was the AD here for a long time. And I remember vividly, he had his golf cart, and there were 3 adorable little girls on the golf cart. And I remember them always there at all these events. And then fast forward, they're in the high school, and all 3 were great athletes. And the middle one, and I'm the middle boy in my family, so I know how the middle child, you know. Did you know it was Middle Child Day today? Of course you did. No one did. No one did. But Erin is the middle one, and I remember when she came into the high school, and she just had this unbelievable tenacity, and that's what really stood out. And she was in an era of great distance running at the shore, and I remember the girls from RBR, the trotters, were impossible to beat, but Erin gave it everything she had and had some amazing races with them. And the couple of races stand out. One is Monmouth County cross country senior year. I think the only time I almost got ill before someone else's race, because I really wanted her to win that championship. And she went through the mile mark, she looked at me, gave me a big smile, and she's like, I got this. And that was the coolest thing, that she knew at the mile mark that she was going to win the 5K for the county. And then the other one was when she was sophomore, so meet of champs track, brutally hot day. She's running the 3200. Why anyone wants to run the 3200 on track, it's beyond me. But one of the hottest days ever, and before the race, she's like, I got this. And she came in second in the still school record, 10:51. She still has a 1600 record and a 3200 record. And having said all that, one other thing, I went to her wedding, which that tells you a lot about her, that she invited me to her wedding. And the day after she ran in the state championship race, I ran in a master's race at Homedale, and she actually came to watch me. And that's as great as she was as a runner, she's an even better person, and she's phenomenal. I'm just so proud of Erin Enderly Leahy.
Congratulations to my classmates and teammates who were inducted tonight. Thank you.
As I said, it's unfortunate that some of our coaches can't be here for whatever reason, but unable to attend to induct their players, and then that happens when years go by. But I would like to speak on behalf of Spencer Friedman. This was written by his former coach here, Stan Friedman, no relation. Spencer was a 4-year letter winner and starter for the Ocean Township tennis team, a 3-year team captain. He led the team to the A North and Central Jersey Group 3 championship in 2006. He was a 2-year first team All-Shore member, 2-year first team All-Monmouth, and as a sophomore he was a second team member. He was the Monmouth County singles champion in 2005 and 2006 and made it to the state finals, the quarterfinals of the singles state tournament. He was voted the Ocean Township High School Scholar Athlete in 2006, and he was the first singles for the Northwestern Club tennis program during his time at Northwestern University. As written by Stan Friedman, Spencer was a fiery competitor with a tremendous amount of athletic ability. His anticipation of where the ball was going and his quickness resulted in very few balls being hit beyond his reach. All of his tennis strokes were excellent, and when you added his court awareness and tennis knowledge to that, he became a very difficult player to beat. He was truly a player to be reckoned with. He worked very hard in practice and set a good example for his teammates. He was very reliable and an integral part of our championship teams. I present Spencer Friedman.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. First of all, I want to, Mrs. Moran, I didn't know you were such a fantastic basketball player. It's awesome to hear. Awesome. So, I had one speech plan, but I'm going to digress a little bit. Every single class I went to in high school, first thing the teacher said to me, we have another Friedman. How awesome. Your brother went to Harvard, right? Good luck on this first test. I believe Miss Helena Busta said that exact quote to me my first day in this class, so it always scares you a little bit. And then the same thing happened to me when I went to the tennis court, because 2 older brothers doing well in tennis. And as is the story of my life, I come to my induction ceremony and the picture on my plaque happens to be Big Brother. He was very happily sitting there in the audience. But in all seriousness, Ocean tennis taught me a lot. Being a tennis player, taught me how to be a good team player. Taught me how to have individual responsibility. Both of these attributes I took on to myself in my personal career since then, and in my life. I'm thankful for that. I want to give a special thanks to the Ocean Township athletic community for putting this awesome event on. I used to walk by that hallway all the time, see all this stuff, and I'm like, wow, look at all those really awesome athletes, and now it's really just a tremendous honor to be on that wall. Hopefully with an updated plaque at some point. I'm sure the team will take care of that. In terms of thanks, I'd like to thank Coach Friedman, who was always a good mentor, helping keep me level-headed on the court. I was, like he said, a fiery competitor, which comes with the aggressiveness in terms of positive and negative, so I got to stay focused all the time. And I want to thank my parents, my mom specifically, for the hours and hours and hours of car rides to different tennis tournaments. Lots of fun bonding time sitting in traffic. And then I want to lastly thank my brothers. So despite the issues there, they taught me everything I knew how to play tennis. They taught me how to compete. They taught me how to work hard. Gregory and Douglas would wake me up Saturday mornings and play tennis for 6 hours. So yeah, it taught me a lot. So thank you and thank you everybody.
right about that picture. We blame Perry's. They made the plaque. So we never accept responsibility for anything.
Spencer, I thought that was between me and you. We'll get it taken care of. We'll get it taken care of. Okay, our next athlete that we are going to honor is going to be presented by a few track coaches. Unfortunately, her head track coach was unable, or head track coach at the time she was here, was unable to be here tonight. So we have some assistant coaches that have been around and have been here with Tiffany, and they are Dana Lewis Lee and Sandy Normile and Paul Looney.
Anyway, I first want to thank Coach Todd for inviting us here tonight, and we're honored to be here. Congratulations to all the inductees. I'm excited to have 3 of our track kids here. Erin, who I am now privileged to teach with, actually, and Andrea and Tiff, who we're going to talk about right now. So, I first laid eyes on Tiffany when she was in 8th grade. The middle school team would come over to the track, and that was always a really good scouting day for us to see what was coming up. So it was the 100-meter race. I had my watch, gun went off. At the end of the race, I looked down, I looked at the time, and I said, this girl's faster than anybody in the high school. And I said, this girl is actually faster than anybody I have coached in high school, and I had previously been in 2 other schools. So at that point, I knew that it was time to fasten the seatbelts. We were in for a wild ride with Tiffany. And it was. I brought, actually, Tiff, I don't know if you remember this. This is the Newark Star Ledger. She doesn't think I keep anything. 2006, June of 2006, just called Grant, Queen of the 400. She won back-to-back meet a champion title in the 400, which earned her that title. And anybody who knows our sport knows that winning one event at the Meet of Champs is extremely difficult, let alone repeating 2 years in a row. So she was very well respected in our track community. Coach Henderson, as Coach Todd said, was her head coach at the time, was unable to be here, but we do have a short message from her that Coach Normile is going to read for us.
Coach Henderson is very upset she couldn't make tonight's event to talk about one of her favorite athletes and all of ours. Unfortunately, she's in New York City for a training, but she wants you to know that she's here in spirit and she's extremely proud of Tiffany and all of her accomplishments, which are extraordinary. Not just as an athlete, but she's very proud of the person that she's become, as you all are. She was a great leader with a great work ethic that was contagious. She served as an amazing role model and has helped the coaches train the next generation of athletes to come in our program. They're still trying to break her records, really. I mean, that's going to take a long time if it happens. Congrats to Tiff and her family.
I also have a short message from Coach Ray Elms, who has since retired to Florida. He says, Tiffany, congratulations on being inducted to the Athletic Hall of Fame. You deserve this honor. You worked for it. You earned it. Being your sprint coach, I know firsthand what it took to get there. You never backed out of a workout or made excuses. Your positive attitude at practice helped raise the level of all other members of the team. Tiffany, you were a once-in-a-lifetime gift to train and coach, the best athlete we ever had. Thank you for the opportunity. Thinking of you, Coach Elms. So, we all felt this way about her, and this is very reminiscent of her senior banquet when we were all up here, and I feel like how did it go so quickly? But the words I said then stand true today. It wasn't just her incredible athletic ability that made her special to us. It was her humbleness, her commitment to our program, her spirit, her attitude. She really raised the bar for our whole team, coaches, the kids. And I want to congratulate Linda and Lamar, Tiffany's parents. They are two of the most supportive people that I've met. I've been coaching for 26 years, and I give them so much credit for guiding Tiffany to success. As I said, I've been coaching 26 years. I have never remained as close to anybody as I have to Tiffany. She went from being one of my favorite athletes to a lifelong friend for me. We still talk and text and laugh a lot. She lives in Atlanta now, but she's a lifer for me.
That was beautiful, Dana. And real quick, I taught her freshman year, and she's as good a student as she is an athlete, which is pretty remarkable. But freshman year, I said, what events do you run? She goes, 1 and 2. I go, and the 4. She goes, oh no, I don't run the 4. And I go, but you will. And she was back-to-back state champ, as Dana said, in the 400. But what I mentioned about old people before, that does not apply to her parents because they haven't aged, ever. But really, congratulations, Tiffany. Phenomenal honor.
Thank you guys. Thank you to everyone. I think all of you would agree with me that running is not fun. There's nothing fun about it at all. So clearly, all of my accomplishments, none of them would have been able to be completed without my coaches. Like my coaches, my friends, and my family. To Coach Looney's point, I did not want to run for him. In my mind, I was a 100, 200, go get a Gatorade, get a burger, and I'm out. And I think it was my sophomore year. Oh, okay. Yeah, freshman winter season. She forced me. I had no choice. It was at Good Sports, and we had to run around. I think there was no track. It was turf, probably like 180 meters, and I ran a 65. So that was my, and I won. But this is the dynamic of my whole career, especially through high school. I just, she saw something special in me. Coach Lewis saw something special in me. Coach Looney, Coach Normile, Coach Elms, Coach Henderson, even DeSoma. So even if I didn't agree with what it was, I was like, they must know something I don't know, so let me just go ahead and just follow their lead. And thank you guys. To my parents, I think back to dual meets. So dual meets, there's only one other team there. Like it's nobody there. Right? Nobody's there. My mom was a teacher. She's retired now, so she was able to make it to the dual meets. My dad was still working, right? I'm on the line. I'm like, okay, Mom. She must have been stuck in traffic. She couldn't make it to this meet. I'm running around 200 meters, and I hear somebody yelling as if I'm in the Olympics. It is a dual meet. Like it's Manalapu. That's it. So, but again, that kept me motivated because running is not that fun, but that kept me motivated. Dad, every Saturday I could always count on you to be there at all the big meets. And I know you were yelling and cheering, but unfortunately, Mom's piercing voice, I couldn't hear it. But I know you were there, I saw you, and it's your support that kind of helped me through my high school and collegiate career. So thank you. And thank you to the committee for inducting me and part of everybody here. I'm honored, I'm humbled, and thank you.
Congratulations to Tiffany. And I will say, when you get these plaques made, they charge you by the letter that you put on here. Tiffany's was by far the most expensive with all the accolades on here. I didn't know what to cut off and what to keep, but it was by far the most expensive. So thanks for that, Tiffany. Congratulations, Tiffany. I'd now like to call up a former soccer coach here, who is now an administrator in the Brielle School District, Mr. Colin Sabia, to speak on behalf of Andrea Lopez Moza.
Good evening, everybody. Just like any time I stood in front of anybody here at Ocean, I'd rather be on the field with the girls, performing there, watching them actually win a game, win a race, or the wrestlers win a wrestling match. But I am here tonight to recognize Mrs. Lopez Moza for her accomplishments on the athletic field. I want to start by congratulating all of the 2018 Hall of Fame inductees tonight. There are many friendly faces here. Congratulations to all of you. Webster's Dictionary defines Hall of Fame as a room, building, etc., set aside to honor outstanding individuals in any profession, locality, nation, or the like. That definition certainly describes Andrea. Andrea was a first team All-Shore 2014-2015. She's a second league scorer still today for girls soccer. And she also was part of the first team to win Central Jersey Group 3 championship. Andrea left Ocean, went to Monmouth University to continue her career. I believe that was done truly to her commitment and her family's commitment to her. And I definitely applaud that. And again, your family commitment to all of your children, I definitely applaud that, Mr. and Mrs. Lopez. Where are we? Tiffany kind of started the train for girls soccer success in Ocean Township. Later in the program, you are certainly going to hear some great stories about over 400 wins on the boys' side of things with Coach Tom Riley. Took a little time to kind of get that train moving in Ocean, but it certainly got moving. Being at the middle school, coaching at the high school, you know, certainly seeing her perform at the middle school level and just kind of hearing the echoes of the girls at the middle school wanting to go to the games, see the girls, not just Andrea, there's a lot of girls being inducted tonight that put a lot of blood, sweat, tears on that soccer field that really helped contribute to that. But there was a buzz when this age group started to play soccer. She's being inducted tonight. I certainly believe she'll be the first, but won't be the last girls soccer player to be inducted to the Hall of Fame here at Ocean Township. So I would like to be the first one to call up Hall of Famer Andrea Lopez Munoz.
I first want to thank the committee for inducting me, and it's such an honor. I'd also like to congratulate all of the inductees tonight, especially Tiffany and Jeanette. I have to say, I couldn't imagine high school without these two young athletes at the time. All of my teammates helped shape who I am today, all of my coaches, and I especially would like to thank my parents. My mom who would make me a breakfast of champions every game day, and my dad who was there through every single soccer game ever, every high school game, ODP, I can't thank them enough. And throughout my collegiate career at Monmouth University, I'd like to thank my husband, Esteban, who was there at every single soccer game. And Ariel, I'd have to say, he was also there in the rain, cold, everything. So thank you. And congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
Congratulations, Andrea. And I would like to say that I shaped Andrea a little bit because I was the intermediate school coach with Tiffany and Jeanette on the same team. So I would like to say that I have a big part in Andrea's Hall of Fame induction. But I'd like to now call up our high school principal, Mrs. Dawn Kazuba, to speak about our Alumni Hall of Fame, which we are starting.
Thank you so much. It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce the inductees of Ocean Township High School's Alumni Hall of Fame. Envisioned as an opportunity to celebrate and recognize OTHS alumni who have gone on to make a significant impact in the community, in their profession, and/or in the world, it is no small or singular accomplishment that has led to each of these three inductees being selected for this very first induction ceremony. I am personally proud to be the current principal of a school and district where such a rich tradition of excellence. I'm sorry, Rusty told me I had to rush that. He took up more of my time and now I'm just flustered. Experience here at OTHS is a foundation for the exceptional body of work you will hear about tonight. These Spartan legacies expand far beyond the walls of Ocean Township High School. Our first inductee is Miss Radia Perlman, class of 1969. Radia graduated from MIT. She is most famous for her invention of the span and tree protocol, which is fundamental to the operation of network bridges. She also made large contributions to many other areas of network design. Her work transformed the Ethernet protocol. Although she would deny credit, she is the mother of the Internet. Unfortunately, Radia Perlman could not join us tonight as she is currently teaching at the University of Washington. She is extremely grateful for this honor and hopes one day to share with us her thoughts on women in technology, the varied dimensions of intelligence, bullying and real heroes, and the most important thing a school can teach, critical thinking. Congratulations to Radia Perlman. Our next inductee is also a member of the class of 1969. Michael Uslan is the executive producer of many award-winning movies, including Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, the Lego Movie, and the Dark Knight trilogy, for which he garnered 8 Oscar nominations. He is also the executive producer of a wide range of television movies, animated series, and documentaries, and won an Emmy Award for the Best Animated Series with his production of Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego. Michael Uslan also could not join us this evening due to other engagements, but as is only fitting of an award-winning producer, I will share with you his acceptance speech. I'm so sorry to be unable to attend the OTHS Alumni Hall of Fame ceremony, but I'm in the middle of teaching my 2-yearly intensive 3-week seminars on producing motion pictures at Indiana University, my other alma mater. As a member of the first class of OTHS to go 4 full years, I remain indebted to our school for setting me up to have the knowledge and confidence to pursue my passions and to succeed in my life's goals. I had teachers here who inspired me, molded me, and challenged me, making a definitive difference in my life in the process. That is not to say my 4 years at Ocean weren't fun. Oh my God. I'd tell you about them now, but I'm afraid to put it down in writing. When I get back there in person, remind me to tell you what we did to our history teacher. Oh yeah, and to our science teacher. And to explain to you what a hall jam really is. And while we're at it, don't let me forget to tell you what happened the day I seized control of the morning announcements over the intercom. There was hell to pay for that one. I want to personally thank Kelly Weldon, the principal, and administration, and what I'm guessing is still an awesome, and I mean absolutely awesome, student body for this very meaningful and touching honor. I only wish my parents and teachers were here to share in this honor with me today. Best bat wishes from Gotham City to Oakhurst, Michael Uslan. Our final inductee, Taki Telemidis, proudly represents the class of 1978. Taki is a senior radio editor for Reveal, an award-winning radio show and podcast. Previously, he was the media producer for the Western Folk Life Center, where he created more than 100 radio features for NPR's All Things Considered Weekend Edition and other news magazines. He has produced and directed 3 public television specials, including Healing the Warrior's Heart, a 1-hour documentary that explores how the ancient spiritual traditions of our nation's first warriors, Native Americans, are helping today's veterans diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. Telenitas was also senior content editor for NPR's State of the Reunion, for which he won a George Foster Peabody Award. Before moving west, he worked for NPR in Washington, D.C., where he was senior producer of Weekend All Things Considered. His television and radio work has garnered a George Foster Peabody Award, 3 Rocky Mountain Emmy Awards, and the Overseas Press Club Award for Breaking News. Taki Telenitas is now based in Salt Lake City. Please join me in welcoming and honoring Taki Telenitas.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks to the committee. It's a great honor to be among the first alumni to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I was just doing some math and realized it's been 40 years since I stepped in this building, and you don't know how happy that makes me. I graduated in '78 and moved far away, and then I moved even further away. And being back here just sort of floods my mind with memories of my parents and all their support, but also the friends that I made here and the teachers who prepared me for college and really for life. So I have a lot to thank Ocean Township High School for. It's great to be back here, and I appreciate this honor. Thank you.
Congratulations, Taki, and our other alumni award winners. Now I'd like to call up former baseball coach here, current athletic director at Red Bank Regional High School, Mr. Dal Pra, to speak on behalf of Mark Pappas and separately, and Jimmy Simmons to follow.
Thank you very much, Spartanville. If I say Red Bank in between my speech, I apologize. I'm used to saying it. I mess up there. It's my job now. But I do hold Ocean Township in a fine place. I'll do the best I can, but I'm a glorified phys ed teacher. I love being here as a phys ed teacher. Now I'm a wonderful athletic director, a wonderful place, only because of the kids and the coaches and the people that are pretty much in this room. But before I thank those guys, I would like to thank Mr. Stefankiewicz, a former Buck, your superintendent, done a wonderful job with us, and now he's over here. Also a former Buck, Dawn Kazuba, your principal. But especially I want to thank Rusty Todd, your top shore conference athletic director. I know a lot goes into these evenings, and I really appreciate these guys having me back to come back and butcher the English language and try to talk about 2 special baseball players, but also about the student athletes that are now athletes and adults and semi-athletes that are in the room. But I also want to say Teray and Janice in the back there, behind every great man is a great woman. Rusty's very lucky because he has 2, plus Lori Todd's a special person as well, also a Buccaneer. But I know Teray and Janice put a lot of work into this evening and what they do here at Ocean Township. Athletes that are here, coaches that are here from 2000 to 2008. A lot of times they say high school are the greatest years of your lives. They are very special, but for me, I was very fortunate. I was here for 8 years, and it was during the years that you were here. Not only as a phys ed teacher, but as an assistant athletic director. So I got to see you guys participate. I got to see you in class. So for my high school in Ocean Township, it was like I was here for 4 years, got left back, and came back for another 4 years. So it worked out real well for me. And if it wasn't for the success we had in baseball as well as in here at Ocean Township, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I thank you, all the athletes. Competition is a wonderful word. It's a word that was never used lightly around here. A lot of people ask me at the 5 high schools I've been to what high school experience at Ocean Township was different. The experience here is competition, even if it's ed class. My first athlete I'm bringing up is Mark Pappas. Mark Pappas had tremendous competition within his body and wanted to compete in everything. He actually came out for freshman football for me, played a great job at tight end as well as some quarterback. He actually went out for the bowling team at one time, played a little bit of basketball, but baseball was his sport. He's a professional in the sport, where he's a professional coach now. He works for Seton Hall University, but we knew from day one that he was going to be a special baseball player. While he was here, he was named first team All-State in the Gannett, second team All-State Associated Press, All-Shore by the Asbury Park Press, as well as first team All-Group 3 by the Star-Ledger. He was an All-A Division infielder. He was a member of the Carpenter Cup his senior year, All-A North hitter, Central Jersey All-Star, and a career 418 hitter. He had 122 hits in his high school career. He had 48 his senior year, which is still a school record. He had 90 career RBIs, but also on the mound, where he was a great pitcher, but he was more known for his hitting and his defense. But he was also a 1.96 ERA and had a 1.04 ERA his senior year. While he was here, he helped the team win 2 division champions, one short conference championships, as well as 2 Monmouth County championships. His teams were 60 and 27 in his 3 years of varsity baseball. After high school, he went and played on a scholarship at Seton Hall University from 2005 to 2008. But while he was there, he was a Pirate. He had a 290 career batting average. He had 101 runs, scored 101 runs as well, 92 RBIs, 34 doubles, 3 triples, and 13 home runs. Senior campaign, he led the team with 41 runs. He also had 177 assists in his career, which is currently ranked 3rd on the all-time Pirate list. After his senior career, he actually went on and signed a professional contract with the Sussex Skyhawks of the Can-Am League, and he played in the 2008 championship season there. Like I said, for the past 7 years, he's worked as the hitting coach as well as fielding coach for the Seton Hall Pirates, which are usually in the top of the league in hitting. And it's no surprise having a guy like Mark Pappas as their coach. At Seton Hall, he also recruits this area. He's one of the top recruiters in college baseball, if not in the East Coast. And with that, I have great pride and great pleasure to introduce Mark Pappas to the Ocean Township Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2018.
Thank you for that, for making me sound a lot better. I still feel like I have a lot to prove every day. Thank you, Rusty, and the committee for this great honor. I want to thank my family as well in the back for the support and endless hours of baseball on and off the field, the conversation that we had. I want to thank the teammates that are here, Jimmy Simmons and Bobby Fox. Good story about Jimmy. He was a year ahead of me. There was one time in the field he questioned my effort on my ability to dive, and not a bad way, a good teammate way, and no one ever questioned my effort diving after that. It was the type of teammate he was to hold people to a high standard, and I appreciate that. I want to congratulate the other inductees and the teams being honored. I strongly believe team accomplishments are much greater value and much more rewarding than individual accomplishment, but I'm completely honored to that. Bobby Fox was one of those members of the wrestling team, so I wish he saved one more championship that we could have gotten in 2004, but very happy for him and the wrestling team here today. I want to thank Ocean Township Little League, Mike Amato, Coach Smitty, providing great culture to grow up in, enjoy the game, learn the game. Couldn't have asked for better high school coaches.
Joe Costa, Coach Gianone, and Del. Just the, one thing, if reflecting on my experience here, Ocean Township Athletics, it is what you make it. Athletes that want to be the best they can, the teams that want to be the best they can, they have the support, the resources, and the culture here to do it. Very, very grateful for my experience here, and wish everyone luck in the future, and wish luck upon the Ocean Township Athletics, as the culture's here for students to do a great job. Thank you for the honor.
Okay, next up, like Mark had said, our next baseball player, Jimmy Simmons. Jimmy Simmons was a year before Mark. Jimmy Simmons was a first-team All-State baseball player in the Gannett, first-team All-State in the Associated Press, first-team All-State in New York Star Ledger junior and senior year, Group 3, first-team all groups in the Star Ledger senior year. So that's been called a consensus All-State baseball player. He was all short junior and senior year, first team all Monmouth County junior and senior. Senior year was named Monmouth County Player of the Year. He also played for the Carpenter Cup, which is, if you don't know, is an all-star team from the Shore Conference that plays out of Philadelphia. He played for their junior and senior year. Then also was the A North hitter, also Central Jersey All-Star. He was a career .431 hitter. He hit .569 his senior year with 7 home runs. I can honestly say his senior year, he had one of the best season I could have ever seen a baseball player have. He was maybe fooled on one pitch. I know it was a Saturday. I believe it was either Freehold, Freehold-Borough. And that's pretty odd that you can remember just one bad pitch, or one bad swing in an entire season. But I think it shocked him, and I think the next pitch, he hit maybe a double in the gap. But he had a tremendous senior year, and one of the luckiest things I had that year was I was the third base coach as well as the head coach. I got to watch his swing. If you ever seen his lefty swing, it was one of the most pretty things to see. And now as an athletic director, I'm constantly reminded by umpires, and they ask me, how's he doing? And they all remember that sweet swing that he did have. Also, like I said, his career, his senior year, he had 13 home runs, 65 RBIs, 87 hits. And I will say that I think that 13 home runs or 7 home runs his senior year were our school record. That's been shattered because he set the mark where other guys have tried to catch up with Mr. Wynkoski, including his son Keith, and to break Jimmy's as well as his dad's record, and took off to another atmosphere where he actually, and yes, right, not stratosphere, atmosphere. I did a Yogi Berra, I guess there, but where now that's a short conference record that he had to beat Jimmy's. While he was here, 2 teams won 2 division titles, won 2 Monmouth County titles. In his senior year, I believe it was, we were tied, I think 1-1 or 0-0. He came up to bat, and T.J. O'Donnell, coach from Raritan, came out, told the pitcher, don't throw him a strike, don't throw him a strike. First pitch came in, Jimmy hit a laser. Before he left the batter's box, it landed over the right field fence, jogged around the fence. Coach came out to take the pitcher out and said, I told you not to throw him a strike. And he said, if he didn't hit it, it would have hit him right in the hip, so I didn't throw him a strike. I still, to this day, I talk to TJ about it once in a while. We still don't know how he did it. We just turned on it so fast, and we won the Monmouth County Championship off of that home run. After high school, he went on to George Washington University Business School, graduated in 2007. Then he went to work for a little company called Goldman Sachs, where he's now a vice president for Goldman Sachs. He is the derivatives sales trader. So please don't ask me what that is. I could not explain it to you. Call Coach G. Maybe he has an idea. I don't know what that is, but I know it's he does a lot of great things in New York City, and we're happy to have him back. Like I said, with Mark, it takes me great pleasure and great pride to introduce you to Jimmy Simmons to be inducted to the Ocean Township Athletic Hall of Fame Class of 2018.
Well, as fantastic introduction from Del Brown,
point about the derivative sales thing means that I had a very rough week. So I drove down here with my girlfriend and a couple. Got here a little bit late, but yeah, it was a very late nights and very early mornings this week, and so that was how I'm starting this off. So I want to thank everybody for this honor and privilege. It's truly something I didn't expect. Something I feel very honored for. You know, fellow athletes, congratulations as well. Many of you I interacted with briefly, some of you, but you know, I always would track the Asbury Park Press, APP.com, always be following up on the Spartan culture. I think that's the big takeaway I have is that, you know, broadly speaking, Ocean Township and the community that, and the camaraderie that people garner here and have, it's truly special. When I talk to, you know, some of my friends that I met in college, some people that I met at work, when I talk to them about my high school, nobody has that same sort of connection. And you know, I think that really speaks truly about the community itself. So I want to thank the community as a whole, not just the Hall of Fame community, not just the township, but you know, everybody around here that's involved in the Spartan culture. It's truly an honor to be, you know, have graduated from this high school. There's plenty of teachers around here like Busta, used to bust my, you know, in some of his business classes. Probably started me off on the track I went after college. You know, there's plenty. I met Miss Palea, who was my 4th grade math teacher. You know, having that sort of that connection after 15 years being since I've been back here is truly, you know, truly special, and it is indicative of just what Ocean Township represents. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank, of course, my parents, who, like everybody else here, they've been instrumental in getting you to those early morning practices, getting home from those late games, whether it be, you know, like Ariel said, anywhere in the state you knew where the Diamonds were. Yeah, my parents were the same way, just like everybody else is here. Like, they were instrumental in getting me to where I became an athlete here, and then subsequently afterwards. So, you know, Coach Del Bra, I actually had the honor also to be inducted with Coach Tom Riley, who was my coach for 4 years as a soccer goalie. Mark alluded to it, but I was definitely, he put it very nicely in how much of a jerk I could be, and in certain cases, Tom, I'm sure, could speak to as well, Del can as well. As a teenage boy, I definitely was a little bit sharper to deal with, but you know, it's a testament to them to be able to deal with me as long as they did. And thank you very much for this honor. I'm truly blessed. Thank you very much.
This guy works for Goldman Sachs. He's trying to take the plaque. Unbelievable. Unreal. Time is escaping us a little bit as far as the halftime. So as we don't want to cut anybody out, obviously, we're going to end the ceremony right now, and we'll see you tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. But we will try and get in there, but halftime is moving along. But our next inductee is, as I said before, when Bobby Basilici was inducted, some people fall through the cracks, unfortunately. And they do, eventually, we do go back and we do recognize these people. And as I mentioned before, it's unfortunate, you know, we try and get the coaches here to speak on people's behalf. And, you know, this coach recently, the golf coach recently passed away. So right when I was about to try and get in touch with him to ask him to attend, he had passed. So this next athlete is a golfer from the class of 1986, Kyle Ross. Kyle Ross was a 4-year letter winner in golf. He was the Monmouth County individual champion. He was a first-team All-Shore golf player. He had a golf scholarship to Penn State University as well. He was a member of 4-team Atlantic 10 golf championships at Penn State University. He was an Atlantic 10 individual golf champion in 1990. He earned all 10 conference honors, Atlantic 10, excuse me, in 1988 and 1990. He was an NCAA Regional All-American in 1990, and he played professionally on the Florida Tour, Canadian Tour, and North Atlantic Tour. Kyle was one of the most recognizable golfers in New Jersey during his high school years due to his old-fashioned knickers and Argyle socks. But look, don't let the outfit fool you or cloud your judgment, as Kyle was a darn good high school and collegiate golfer. Kyle had an outstanding career at Ocean Township High School. Once Kyle's career was complete, as I said, he attended Penn State University. He won the Atlantic 10 Championship at Sheridan Lake Golf Resort in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Kyle continued his career professionally, and he lives in town now, and his kids are in our high school right now, and him and his wife Carol and their children Shannon and Ryan reside in Wayside. I'd like to congratulate Kyle Ross for all his accomplishments and finally being inducted into the 2018 class, Hall of Fame Ocean Township class.
Sure. Hello, everybody. I'll try to keep this short because we have to get to halftime. Rusty, you did make a mistake with the picture. I don't like this outfit. I like the other Knickers outfit. So, it's a great honor. I am so old that I am actually fans of most of you people that are being inducted. I remember reading about you, the wrestling team, the football team. We got a fellow Penn Stater in the crowd, and also my favorite team, the Oakland Raiders. So, I need a picture with you after this. So, I'd like to thank Rusty and Ira for putting on this great event. I would like to thank my wife for putting everything together for me and being very tenacious in this effort for getting me in the Hall of Fame. I would like to thank my swing coach, Wayne Warms. If you ever need a good golf pro, ask Wayne. He's over at Eagle Oaks. I would also like to thank my golf coach from Penn State, Mary Kennedy Zerke. I was just out there recently, and it was really exciting to see that she was hanging on the Penn State Hall of Fame. But most importantly, it's very sad that my golf coach, Jumbo, he passed away recently, and I wish he was here, but I think maybe he's looking down at me, maybe in the thrift shop in the sky saying, "Ross, you finally made it." So thanks again, everybody, and congratulations to everybody.
Okay, our next in order for our inductees is not able to be here this evening, but that is Adam Serafian, a class of 2004 graduate, and Adam was a kid who picked up his niche while he was in high school. He was a gymnast, he was a wrestler, but became an unbelievable pole vaulter. And he still holds the state record, which he set in 2004, of 17 feet, 4.5 inches. And it was amazing watching him. I was around during that time as an athletic director, and just watching each meet, he would just improve and improve and improve. And he was very dedicated to the sport. Adam was one of those rare talents in sports that excelled in the pole vault. Everyone in the stadium would stop what they were doing and turn their eyes to the infield and watch him jump. Adam would run down the runway, the crowd would collectively hold their breath, and then they would roar in excitement when he would clear the bar and fall to the pit with the crossbar still resting in the uprights. As a freshman, This is written by Mark DeSoma, his track coach, unable to be here tonight. Adam came in extra help for algebra one day, and in the course of the conversation it came up that he was a gymnast. Gymnastics ability and his success in the pole vault are related, so we discussed the pole vault and track as a possible outlet for his talents. He was curious and came out for track in the spring and fell in love with the sport. After that, Adam was all in and committed, not just to do well, but be the best ever. My memories of Adam are an athlete that loved the event, always smiling, enjoying the competition, and excited for any challenge. He couldn't wait for practice to perfect his technique, fly high, set records, and test the limits. I will tell you too, Adam cost us more money here because he made sure our standards were up to date. So we had to buy the right pads for this, the right pads for that. We had to get a different pole vault every 2 weeks because he outgrew the one that they used. But Adam moved on to college and had a very successful career there at the University of Georgia. But Adam Sarafian, our pole vault champ, into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Adam. Okay, now I would like to move on to, wait a second, I don't have my paperwork. I don't know if I really need it, but I'd like to talk about Jeanette Villapiano Biava. Am I saying that right? Biava? Jeanette was absolutely, I was her coach at the time. I was fortunate to coach her. As I said, Jeanette, Tiffany, and Andrea played 8th grade soccer, middle school soccer, and I was the coach there. But Jeanette, just when I saw her speed and her tenaciousness, her competitiveness, I knew that this was a girl that I had to get to play lacrosse. So in the summer of her 8th grade year going into high school, I had her play with the high school girls in Seagirt. And we had a summer league playing, and she was like, I don't know what I'm doing, I can't do this, but she would just blow by people. Her speed was incredible. Then we used to go to Jackson in the summers, like on Wednesday nights or something. And we used to go with a bunch of us, and Jackson was the cream of the crop in lacrosse at that time, in girls lacrosse. And I just remember Jeanette as a young kid, really not knowing the game, but running as fast as she could. And somebody threw her a pass behind her, and I'll never forget this. And she reached the stick behind her in a full sprint and caught the ball at like her calf, reached back as she's running full speed and was able to hold on to it. And I was like, whoa, did you see that? So I turned to somebody, but nobody was there, so I was talking to myself about that. But there were so many bright moments when she was young. I remember our younger, a freshman here, I remember her playing in her first year, and we were playing Red Bank Catholic, who was also a very good team. And she took the ball from our bench area on a stop play and ran in, and she flicked this shot that, she hardly moved her hands, but the shot was just like a rocket. That time I did say to the assistant coach, did you see that? But Jeanette just had intangibles that were incredible. And the best thing about Jeanette, I mean, she's got incredible statistics, which you can read in the program. At the time, she was our second all-time leading scorer when she graduated. But she was our first player to go to, not our first player to get a lacrosse scholarship, but to go to a big-time school, University of Massachusetts, Atlantic 10. Just like Penn State, Atlantic 10. That's big-time lacrosse. And she went there, and she played 2 years for the coach that recruited her. Then that coach left. And then a new coach came in her junior year. She had a tough junior year. But Jeanette didn't complain. She just persevered. The coach probably wanted to bring in her own people. And that same coach, as a senior, after Jeanette, learning about Jeanette learning about her, but as a senior, her coach made a quote, Jeanette is a threat, a tough stopper defensively, and an attacker who can get the job done. You can feed the ball to her anywhere, and she will come up with it. She's a winner, a gamer, and will step up under pressure to get the job done. She believes in herself and winning at all times. As of right now, we can't take her off the field. She's been doing everything but playing goalie. So, you know, and that's how she was here. That's exactly how she was. She didn't care about, you know, the statistics. She did the things that were not in the stats. She got the draw controls. She got the ground balls. She caused the turnovers. And she went on to have a really good career. And, you know, people ask me now and then, you know, not that often, but do you miss coaching? I say, no, I don't miss it at all, not one bit. But I do miss coaching kids like Jeanette Villapiano. So, Jeanette Villapiano, congratulations. Come on.
Thank you, Coach Todd. Thank you so much to the committee and Ocean Township for nominating me and inducting me. This is really, really special. Ocean Township is like a family community from the coaches to the players, and especially my parents came in. I think they were one of the first classes here at Ocean, so it really runs deep. But congrats to all of the inductees. It's been awesome in high school, whether we play the same sport or not. You guys like rooting each other on. It's just awesome. Tiffany and Andrea, it's just like so many memories that we really came together. At one point, I did beat Tiffany in the 400. I'm really proud of that. She was in 6th grade, I was in 8th grade. But no, so many happy memories. And I want to thank Coach Todd, especially. Before he was big, top athletic director in the shore, he really saw something in me that just shaped my life for the greater. And he coached me inside out, on and off the field. When he became an athletic director, to his point, I think he really missed it, so much so that he would call me down in the middle of class. So we'd get the security guy come, Coach Todd needs to see Jeanette, and everyone in class would be like, ooh. I'd go down, and then he'd be like, okay, here's the recruiting information, here are the tournaments you have to do, here's what you got to do. And so I think I'm so thankful, more than he'll ever know. Just very quickly, I know we're on a time crunch, but to my awesome family, I'm the youngest of 4 siblings who all are amazing athletes, so inspiring, and just, you know, set the bar super high for me, so they're just awesome. My husband, who wasn't here for high school, but he continues to support me through all my marathon training and even my coaching. He does all the scoreboard at my high school varsity games when I was coaching, so go you. But my parents, who went to, like I said, Ocean. My dad was a football player. My mom was a cheerleader, so Spartan blood runs really, really deep, and they really, truly taught me what it means, like commitment, leadership, sportsmanship, and hard work at every game, and not just lacrosse games, soccer, basketball, summer games, and so much so, like I never missed a day of high school because I couldn't let my team down. So thank you so much to everyone, and congrats.
Okay, congratulations to Jeanette. We will move on. I will get to this coach. He's not here, but I will talk about the coach that is here that's being inducted tonight, Tom Riley. Real quick story about Tom. When I first became athletic director, I've tried to figure this out. This is my 16th year. Tom was here 32, so it was probably his 17th year coaching. And I remember Mr. Pagano, our superintendent at the time, had said, you know, hey, budget's low, no new uniforms for anybody. So Tom had put in his uniforms and everything, and I went up to him and I said, "Hey Tom, I'm sorry, I don't know if he remembers this, but I said, hey Tom, I'm sorry, Superintendent, I'm not taking the blame. Superintendent said no new uniforms, so you can't get them this year." And he says to me, "Every 3 years I get new uniforms." And I'm like, what's this guy doing? So I'm like, well, sorry, but I'm looking at him and I'm kind of thinking, like, who is this guy? Who is he? I'm new, I knew about him, I knew his name, but I didn't realize, that Tom only wanted the minimal for his team. All he wanted to do was to be left alone and coach soccer. All right, he did want his uniforms every 3 years, 20 balls, and that was it. That was it. Everything else he provided. And I realized that I was watching a legend here coaching. Tom finished his career with 405 wins, numerous Coach of the Year awards. He was inducted into New Jersey Scholastic Coaches Hall of Fame in 2015. His teams won 11 divisional championships, 4 Shore Conference tournament champions, which is really harder to win than a state championship, at least a sectional. He's won 5 Central Jersey Group 3 sectional championships and 1 overall Group 3 state championship, which John Villapiano was a part of that team, I believe. While Tom's record in many championships speaks for themselves, I've always been more impressed with Coach Riley's intangibles as a coach. Tom was never married to a system. Each year he took his group of players, observed their strengths and weaknesses during the scrimmages, and developed a system that fit the players. By the end of the season, the teams would be a competitive unit regardless of the level of player on the team. This type of improvement happened year in and year out for our varsity teams, and the unique combination of his soccer IQ and flexibility in altering the system was truly impressive. I also enjoyed sitting on the sidelines when Tom was coaching because I'd learn something every game. When he said things to kids, I was like, I get that. So the kids should be, and I know a little bit about soccer, but I kind of got the relationship of it, and I was like, wow, he's right. That's 100% right. I witnessed that, and the way he made it adaptable to the kids he coached was truly amazing. The same observations about the game were not limited to the players. The officials also learned the game of soccer from Tom. And taking a ref to school was not necessarily what I wanted to see as the athletic director, but I must admit, each referee knew they were wrong after Tom was through with them. Tom recently retired a year ago, about a year ago right now. Finished coaching his last soccer season in 2016, and he is now the head women's soccer coach at Washington College in Chestertown, Maryland. Tom is what I call a soccer lifer. I mean, that's what he loves, that's what he does, and his story could not have been any better for Tom as being a soccer coach here for 32 years and then moving on to the collegiate level. So we miss him here as a coach, and I'd like to welcome Tom Riley as a member of our 2018 Hall of Fame.
You can hear me, right? Unfortunately, that is my picture. Nothing I can do about that. I'd like to thank the committee and everyone involved in this event. I've been to these when my players got inducted and teams that coaches got inducted. So it's a real honor to personally join them and be a part of this. I didn't grow up in Ocean. I grew up at the shore of Brick. In my juvenile head, I always thought I'd be doing this there. As fate would have it, I got the opportunity to move up here and coach and teach, and it's been a great life for me. It's especially in the room, there's a couple kids that I've taught in Wanamassive when they were little 6-year-old kids, and some of my players that played for me are here. And Matt was also on that championship team that Johnny played on. So I have a couple guys I could name a million names of people that helped put me here. We would miss the rest of the basketball game if I did that, so I don't want to start naming names. But the assistant coaches that I had, and especially the players, any coach will tell you, without the players, you're just talking. They have to do it all. So we've had from the Ocean Township club system to supply the players, and then the players will come out, put out the effort, and to win us championships. So it's really, I have the players to thank for me to be standing up here tonight, like those guys over there. Now, one quick story, since a couple of people got their stories in. This has to do with George. Maybe my second year working here, I was nobody. Came off a losing season my first year. Come from an away game, we roll up on the bus, and the football team is out on the soccer field running plays. And what are they doing on my field? We can't practice on the football field. So the bus pulls up, and I'm like, I'm going to give them a piece of it. I go running out there, 50 yards, still got it. 20 yards away, George is getting bigger. I get about 10 yards away, and George, is everything okay? You got everything together? But he was very gracious, and actually they moved off the field, and I got to keep my nose and everything else. So it's all good. So thanks for that, George. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think that basketball game is getting less and less likely. But, you know, as I said, we don't want to shortchange anybody that's in here tonight. Our next inductee is unable to be here tonight, and he had a couple of his kids go in the Hall of Fame early today when we started, early in the evening. Mark Frankel was our softball coach here for 29 years. He had a career record of 489 wins, 214 losses. He won 11 divisional championships, 2 Monmouth County championships, a Shore Conference championship, 6 state sectional championships, and 1 overall state championship. He's had some area Coach of the Year honors. The team won 5 sportsmanship awards under his tutelage. And he was also inducted into New Jersey Coaches Hall of Fame in 2016. Mark Mark retired and he stopped coaching, but he still helped out with the team. Mark volunteered his time with the team because he's a softball lifer. But he volunteered his time from the time he retired, and I don't mean volunteered like showing up, you know, on Saturdays and Wednesdays. He was there all the time. He was there at the beginning, he was there until the end. Mark is currently a non-volunteer this year. He's an assistant coach with the varsity level for our softball program this spring. But I'd like to congratulate Mark Frankel for his induction into the 2018 Ocean Township Athletic Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Okay, now I'd like to call up, again, I'd like to refer to our former head football coach here, Mr. Sal Spompanato, to talk about the 2005 state championship Ocean Township football team.
2005 was a very special year. Not only did we win the state championship, but it was also the year that my daughter was born. So I'm definitely going to seize this opportunity and embarrass her. Say hi, Eva. She hates me, but that's okay. So 2005, like I said, we brought a third state championship home, and it was quite a different road than the previous two. In 1993, our first state championship, led by Eddie Conti and Johnny Magnotta, was a team that rolled through everybody. There was I don't know if it was a close game, but that team was very special. Went 11-0. They finished as the #1 team in the entire state. That includes the Don Boscos, the St. Peters, and all the schools up north. It was a very special group. And then in 2000, we had a similar team led by Mr. Setrin's son. He was on that team, and they were another dominant team. They went 11-1, and if it wasn't for a bad call by the ref, they would have been 12-0. The 2005 road to the championship was much more rockier. We, in fact, after 8 games, we were 5-3, and we snuck in at the #7 seed. So our first opponent was a Lawrence team, and they were led by a Division I quarterback that ironically would become Big Lou's teammate at Penn State. And because of some other circumstances, we were going into that game shorthanded. That's very key positions. We got on the bus, and behind the offensive line of Lou Iliadis, Shane Bigelow, Mike Williamson, Jeremy Schulte, Zach Grandinetti, Chris Desposito, Mike Luigi, and the receiving corps of Corey Giddings, Wesley O'Donnell, and Smiggs, Mario Smeriglio. Then the running attack of Chris Chittum, Joey Falco, and Alex Levy, and Mike Goodwin at the quarterback. We ran for 381 yards and somehow beat that team 28-25. And everybody said, well, you beat a good Mercer County team, but you can't beat a good Shore team. So next was Wall. So we went into Wall, and now this time it was a defensive unit that shined. We had Shane Bigelow, Chris Bannon, Timmy Brown, Garrett Kalu, Kurt Dappeldecker, Chris Desposito, Corey Giddings, Mike Goodwin, Wesley O'Donnell, Alex Levy, John Pozaricki, Smiggs again, Mike Lucci, and Steve Gilbert. And not only did they hold Wall to 1 touchdown, but we scored 8 points on defense, and we won 16-6. So there we are. We got to go to Monmouth Regional, play our 3rd game in less than 2 weeks, and we won 13-12. So we won our last 3 games by a total of 3, 10, and 1. And now it's off to Rutgers for the state championship against a 10-1 Nottingham team who had won 10 straight. But this time when we got off the bus, we were at full strength. All our teammates were back, and it wasn't even a game. Keith McPherson came back at 139 yards rushing. Chris Chittum at 180 yards rushing. Corey Giddings, Alex Levy, Joey Falco all scored. Shane Bigelow and Mike Goodwin led the secondary, and we won 41-20. So it was a very special group. No matter what adversity these guys had, they always seemed to overcome it. They were very tight. They played for each other, and it was great seeing some of these guys for the first time since then, I think, and it's really good to see them. So before I call them up, Coach Lambuster, if you can come up. Coach Weldon, who was our academic coach, come on up. I saw Coach O'Neill, if he's still here. Coach Cologne, get your big butt up here. Any other coaches that are here? And then I would ask the players to come up also for a picture. So who do we got up here? We have, you guys met Big Lou, Lou Iliadis,
Mario Smeriglio,
Chris Chittum, Mike Luigi,
Joe Falco,
Garrett Kalu, Matt Petzel, Greg Plotz, Mike Thorne, Keith McPherson.
That's our team. I'm sorry, I know you guys want to leave, but Trish Chittum just brought up a great point. We want to dedicate that season to a coach and not here, Coach K, who passed away. That'd be one of the big red greats. So Coach K, still remember this.
Coach K is in our Athletic Hall of Fame. That concludes our evening. We missed halftime of the football game, but the basketball game. Sorry. I missed halftime of the football game too. But I'm an Eagles fan, so sorry about that. We missed halftime of the basketball game. But if we could go in there and they have a timeout or something, I would love to just be able to say, welcome our Hall of Fame members. If you could do that, and I'm also still willing to take anybody that would like for a tour of our new athletic facility at the back of the gym. So please, there's still food out there, I believe. Help yourself, and if you want to go to the gym, but we thank you for coming, and congratulations to all of our Hall of Fame inductees 2018.